When a team gives a guy a huge contract, they expect production. That's a given, but it doesn't always happen. In fact, these teams are lucky if it does. Today, let's look at every team's highest paid player in 2023 and rank them based on production. Just a note, these players have to be currently on the roster, so no Madison Bumgarner. This is based on base salary, not adjusted salary, so any signing bonuses or weird deferred payments will not be considered. I also left out both Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander. They both got traded, and their insane $43 million salaries are being split. Number 30, Steven Strasburg, Washington Nationals, $35 million. This seems like an annual tradition. This contract is turning out to be one of the worst of all time. This year, he hasn't even touched the mound as he keeps trying to get healthy. Number 29, Robbie Ray, Seattle Mariners, $21 million. He got 10 outs this year, giving up 5 runs in his only start. Then he went down for Tommy John surgery and won't be back until sometime in 2024. Number 28, James McCann, Baltimore Orioles, $12 million. You know you got a young team when you're in first place and your backup catcher is your highest paid player. The O's got him from the Mets, giving Adley Rutschman some chances to DH, and he's been alright. 51 games, 243 average, 4 homers, 688 OPS. So he's playing his part. Just weird that this is their highest paid player. Number 27, Aledmys Diaz, Oakland A's, $6.5 million. It's Oakland. Their richest guy isn't exactly making bank, and he hasn't been very impressive anyway. 86 games, 224 average, 4 homers, 606 OPS. Number 26, Anthony Rendon, Los Angeles Angels, $38 million. This contract is just getting sad. One injury after another. Once again, only 43 games played, 236 average, only 2 home runs, 679 OPS. Just your typical Angels big free agent contract. Number 25, Miguel Cabrera, Detroit Tigers, $32 million. Obviously, the Tigers gave him big money back in 2016, knowing they would have to eat it later on. And here we are later on. This is the last year of the contract. We already know it's the last year of his Hall of Fame career, and he's hitting .251 with 2 homers and a .661 OPS. Number 24, Chris Bryant, Colorado Rockies, $27 million. He's barely played more than 100 games in his 2 years in Colorado, and this year, his production hasn't been there. .251 average in 65 games, 8 homers, 23 RBI, 717 OPS. Number 23, Chris Sale, Boston Red Sox, $27.5 million. This is his most complete season since 2019, but still, it's only about half a season. He missed all of June, July, and the first part of August, but he's back, and in 13 starts, he's sporting a halfway decent .450 ERA. Number 22, Yasmani Grandal, Chicago White Sox, $18.25 million. He may not be elite like he was back in 2021, but he's a lot better than he was last year. In 101 games, he's hitting .234 with 8 homers, 32 RBI, and a 657 OPS. Still, not what the White Sox signed up for after all those great years in Milwaukee and Los Angeles. Number 21, Joey Votto, Cincinnati Reds, $25 million. On a team defined by young players, Votto seems like a dinosaur out there. His clubhouse leadership is important, I'm sure, but he didn't start his season until mid-June, so he's only played in 48 games and only hitting .206. That being said, he's showing off his power, 13 home runs, and his ability to get on base. Together, those factors drive his OPS up to .795. Number 20, Ke'Bryan Hayes, Pittsburgh Pirates, $10 million. He continues to be a great glove man, and his offense is improving. His OPS plus is getting closer to league average, hitting .260, 8 homers, 45 RBI, also stealing 9 bags, 715 OPS. Number 19, Jock Peterson, San Francisco Giants, $19.65 million. He's not as amazing as he was last year, but still not bad. In 87 games, he's hitting .232, 11 homers and 39 RBI, a 750 OPS. He's just above a league average player, but that's not worth the paycheck. Number 18, George Springer, Toronto Blue Jays, $22.5 million. He's been able to stay on the field, but he's taken a step back from his All-Star 2022 season. 117 games, .257 average, 14 homers, 48 RBI, 715 OPS. That's down almost 100 points from last year, but he has stolen more bags, up to 16 this year and tying a career high. Number 17, Carlos Correa, Minnesota Twins, $32 million. After pinballing all over the league in the offseason, he got a very nice long-term deal to come back to Minnesota. There were a lot of health concerns over the state of his right leg, but so far this year, he's stayed on the field. His production is just down. 110 games, .230 average. That's down from .291 last year. 15 homer, 54 RBI, 715 OPS, 119 points down from last year. Number 16, Xander Bogaerts, San Diego Padres, $25 million. He started his tenure as a Padre so well. 308 average and a 914 OPS at the end of April. But since then, he's only hitting 251 with a 677 OPS. Overall, not a bad season, but not superstar level. 119 games, 265 average, 13 homers, 42 RBI, 13 stolen bases, and a 734 OPS. Number 15, Trey Turner, Philadelphia Phillies, $27.3 million. Another shortstop that cashed in big time. This year hasn't worked out as expected. Not terrible, but not great. 121 games, 250 average. That's down 48 points from last year. 14 homers, 46 RBI, 22 stolen bases, 707 OPS. Down 102 points from 2022. Number 14, Salvador Perez, Kansas City Royals, $20 million. He got paid after that monster 2021 season. He hit 48 homers and drove in 121, and he's come back to earth since then. This year, he's exactly league average. 111 games, 256 average, 19 homers, 55 RBI, 734 OPS. Number 13, Aaron Judge, New York Yankees, $40 million. Speaking of guys who cashed in after a monster year, it's hard to think of someone more prominent than Aaron Judge. When he's on the field, he's been amazing, but he's been injured twice this year and only played 69 games. In those games, he's hitting 280, 24 homers, 48 RBI, and has an OPS of 1039. That's awesome, but I gotta drop him for only playing in about half of his team's games. Number 12, Marcus Stroman, Chicago Cubs, $25 million. He was outstanding up until about late June, a 2.28 ERA in 16 starts, but since then, there's been a lot of crooked numbers. An ERA of 9 over his last 7 starts. That leaves him with a 3.85 ERA, which is still pretty good, but it could have been so much better. Number 11, Zach Eflin, Tampa Bay Rays, $11 million. He came over from the Phillies, and he's having his best season ever. In 24 starts, he leads the league with 13 wins, posting a very solid 3.58 ERA. Number 10, Alex Bregman, Houston Astros, $28.5 million. He was actually better last year, his OPS standing at 769 versus 820 in 2022, but he's been an everyday player, 20 homers, 80 RBI, all around a solid season. Number 9, Francisco Lindor, New York Mets, $32 million. The two aces are gone, so Lindor gets the nod, and he's having his best season ever as a Met. He was top 10 for MVP last year, and his OPS is up 12 points. His average and RBI pace are a bit down, but he should blow past last year's 26 homers, and he's eyeing a career high in stolen bases, just 4 away from that. Number 8, Corey Seager, Texas Rangers, $35 million. He's missed about a third of the games this year, but when he's playing, he's been one of the best. 344 average, 22 homers, 73 RBI, 1062 OPS. These are crazy numbers if he can keep them up. I just dropped him down a little bit because he's missed over 40 games. Everyone ahead of him has put in a full season. Number 7, Ketel Marte, Arizona Diamondbacks, $11 million. Ever since 2019, he's had flashes of greatness. Last year wasn't so great, but he's back now. 117 games, 271 average, 19 homers, 62 RBI, 822 OPS. Number 6, Christian Yelich, Milwaukee Brewers, $26 million. We were looking for the Yelich of old the last 3 years, and we haven't gotten MVP Yelich back yet, but we have gotten All-Star Yelich back. 120 games, 286 average, 16 homers, 66 RBI. Also a very impressive 25 stolen bases, and 827 OPS. Number 5, Jorge Soler, Miami Marlins, $15 million. We haven't seen him go off like this since 2019. He's not putting up 48 homers and a 900 plus OPS, but he's back to his all-star form. 118 games, 243 average, 32 homers, 67 RBI, and an 843 OPS. Number 4, Nolan Arenado, St. Louis Cardinals, $35 million. Offensively, he's very similar to Soler. In fact, he's not quite as good, but you add in his glove and I give him the slight edge. If you read into the stats, his defense is actually down this year, but still, he's one of the best of all time. 118 games, 283 average, 25 homers, 85 RBI, 837 OPS. Number 3, Jose Ramirez, Cleveland Guardians, $14 million. This is just your typical rock-solid all-star season that we've come to expect. He plays almost every day as usual. 118 games, 283 average, 18 homers, 66 RBI, 18 stolen bases, 836 OPS. Number 2, Freddie Freeman, Los Angeles Dodgers, $27 million. In his second year with the Dodgers, Freeman is playing at an MVP level. He plays every day as usual, 123 games, 333 average, 23 homer, 83 RBI, 986 OPS, leads the league in doubles with 45, and total bases with 280. Last year, he led the league with a 407 on base, and this year he's doing it even better at 411. He's just a hit machine, and this year he's even added speed to his game. He's already got a career-high 16 stolen bases. Number 1. Matt Olson, Atlanta Braves, $21 million. Olson and Freeman will always be linked, Olson replacing Freeman in Atlanta, and these guys are razor close. Freeman is the better overall hitter, but I'm giving Olson the edge for being more productive. Olson's average is 62 points lower, but his OPS trails Freeman's by only 1 point. Olson leads the league in slugging at 605, also was tops in the NL with 43 homers and 108 RBI. He also takes the field every day, playing 122 games. You can't go wrong with either one of these guys. So that's it. Every team's highest paid player in 2023 ranked from worst to best. Let me know where you agree or disagree, what you would have changed and why. Before you go, don't forget to drop a like. And if you're new here and love content like this, please give me a sub. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.